Welcome to New Possibilities. I speak truth to power without fear. So, during a news interview, Representative Jasmine Crockett said that it hurts her heart that only two Caucasians voted against that resolution honoring Charlie Kirk. And as you all know, Charlie Kirk is a notorious racist. This man has said racist thing after racist thing. Not only has this man made racist comments, this man has helped promote policies that are detrimental to African Americans. And I'm going to just cite some examples, and I've cited many of the examples of things that he has said before. For instance, this man said that the Civil Rights Act was a huge mistake. This man talked about how black people were basically better off under slavery and Jim Crow, suggesting that black people committed crimes during those periods compared to today's time. And he was suggesting that somehow, again, we were better off during Jim Crow and slavery. This is a man who complained about having to take off from work for Juneteenth. So this man in protest went to work on Juneteenth and did a video talking about it. This is a man who called George Floyd a scumbag following his death. We all know what happened to George Floyd. And I'm going to keep reiterating these points and bringing home these points time and time again. George Floyd was killed by police. The police had their knee in his brother's neck while his brother kept screaming out that he can't breathe. A court found that those officers guilty, but yet and still you have this true scumbag, Charlie Kirk, call George Floyd a scumbag and complain about how George Floyd shouldn't have received all of the attention that he did. That was one of the most heinous acts of police brutality ever. So people around the world were marching and demonstrating against this. But in his mind, in Charlie Kirk's twisted ass, racist ass mind, he felt like George Floyd didn't deserve this attention and that he was a scumbag. This man talked about black pilots. He said that when he sees a black pilot, he thinks, oh, I hope he's qualified. These are the thoughts that he had to say. And then he made racist comments about some prominent black women, like Kamala Harris, Michelle Obama, Sheila Jackson Lee. He went on to say, suggested they didn't have the brain processing power and they wouldn't have made it without affirmative action and all that kind of stuff, suggesting that they were unqualified, incapable, and just didn't have the brain or thinking capacity to be successful on their own. This is what this man has said. But this is the man that this nation decided to vote to honor. And I could go on and on about other examples of things that Charlie Kirk has said, but I won't. I've said enough. But this is the man that they chose to honor. And you got all of these white Democrats. We know what the Republicans are going to do. We know that these Republicans are racist as hell. We know that their agenda is white supremacy. They don't pretend. They're up front with their racism. But these white Democrats pretend to be our friend. Every election cycle, you see them in black churches talking about all the things that they're going to do for the black community. Talking about how they are in solidarity with us. They're concerned about our issues and they want to address our issues. That's what you hear. But these same white Democrats didn't have the courage to vote against this ridiculous resolution honoring a white supremacist. And these people wonder why you have so many people that have divested from the Democratic Party and are no longer really interested in voting. They have become disillusioned because of this kind of foolishness. These people pretend to be our friends, but when it really counts, they leave us abandoned. It is crazy that most of the people that voted for this against the resolution, were black people and other minorities. These white people stood together to honor a racist. And then when Representative Jasmine Crockett calls out this actual fact, you have this white racist woman had a gall to refer to this educated, successful black woman as a ghetto black bitch who hates America, simply because this woman pointed out actual facts. She pointed out the fact that only 2 Caucasians voted against that resolution. And that should hurt us. We should be outraged by that. But yet and still, you got this racist white woman had a nerve to attack this black woman for simply pointing out facts. And this tells you everything you need to know about these Charlie Kirk supporters. These people are racist. The white people that support him are racist, and the black people that support him are sellouts. They are coons. They are modern day real life Uncle Ruckuses. But yeah, man, this is outrageous, man. Tell me what y'all think about this issue. Peace.